Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to be looking at a few things, enclosures, and you can see that we're going to be able to build small hills and to make our enclosures look a little bit more realistic, right? Because right now they're just squares with some things inside. It's not really a realistic enclosure. So we're going to try and make it more realistic by adding some terrain, which is, hills or little peaks, that kind of thing. So how do we start this in Minecraft? You can see that we're going to be building this regular hill, which is easy mode. And you can see that the dark symbolizes the deepest layer. So this is the first layer. This is the first layer. This is the second layer. This is the third layer. And this is the fourth layer. So as they get higher, it gets smaller and smaller, much like a hill, right? You can see that just like before, X is this side and Y is this side here. So you need to make sure to flip the coordinates, otherwise it will not work. So make sure you do that. Great. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is take a look at this here. The first layer, actually we don't need to do that. Let's switch my screen to, where are we? To Minecraft. Let's switch it. Can I switch it? Oh no, I can't. I have to switch it this way. Here we go. Okay. Perfect. So I think you can still hear me. Yes, you can. So this is what I made earlier on today. I made this little hill, you can see, and I made this using the worksheet that we have. So we're going to go through the worksheet, not shaped, worksheet step by step, and build some of these interesting things. I think this is Sheehan's from last lesson, actually. Yes, it is. Okay. But you can see what I've built here, and I've messed up a few times, but it's okay. Messing up is fine, right? So let's start and see what we can do. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the starter code, which is going to be, actually we'll start from the beginning. So we'll start from making the shape I just showed you. So let's take a look and see what we can do. So we have C, UNI variables, and this is the new enclosure code. It's much easier, right? So now when I type in enclosure, you see what happens, enclosure. You can see, yes, remember this side is X, this side is Y. So this side is the first column, this side is the last column, right? And the middle column is going up or going down, like so. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, good. Oh, I stuck. There we go. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's fill it up. There we go. Good. Okay. So let's take a look and see what we can do. Well, I'm looking at the sheet and I can see that I need to add in a block. So on the X side, on the sheet, the X is 3 to 9. So I know my X is here, so this is going to be 3 to 9. And I also know that my Y is 3 to 9, so this is going to be 3 to 9 again. Super easy. Let's make this a different shape just so you can kind of see what we're doing. Let's make it, let's make it from granite. Why not? Okay. Now the next step, well, I can look at the sheet and I can work it out, or I can just use sheet. I can just do, instead of 3, I can do 4. Instead of 9, I can do 8, which is getting smaller each time, like 4, 8. And I can do the same thing for the next step, because the next step follows the same pattern. So 5 and 7, 5 and 7. The last step, however, does not follow the same step, so you need to do something a little bit different. So the last step is from 5 to 6 on the X, so it's 5 to 6 in the last column, and it goes from 6 to, where are we? Just 6 to 6 on the Y, so 6 to 6 in the first column. Now, when I type in enclosure inside, you can see, can you see I made a mistake? What is the mistake, guys? I didn't change the middle column. The middle column needs to be changed to 2, 3, 3. And it just increases each time, so it's not too difficult. There we go. You can see that this is exactly the same as what I built on my screen, right? Oh, actually, I did make a mistake, guys. I'm so sorry. There is a small mistake I made, and let's correct it right now. So this shouldn't be from 3.8 to 3.9. This should be so 3.8 to 3.9. This should be 3.8 to 3.8. This should be 7. This should be 6. And this is fine. 5 to 6. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So let's do that again. Even I make mistakes, right? Okay, good. Good. And now this is the exact same as what we have. Oh, I made another mistake. I'm just making mistakes after mistake after mistake today. What is the second mistake? Oh, this should be 7. There we go. Okay. Now let's do that again. Okay. So now we have the exact same shape that is in our enclosure on the screen that I'm looking at right now, which is great. This is what I wanted, right? And you can see obviously that, yeah, there's no space here because this is the 10th column and 10 is occupied by the line. But on this side, there is one space. You can see the one space right here, right? Perfect. Okay, good. Great. So now we can actually go further. And we can maybe take a look at the second step, which is going to be, let's take a look. Okay, yes, here we go. So now we're going to try and design something together, right? Let's do it together. So we're going to use the same code as we used before, which is this here. This is the enclosure. So remember, we're using a separate piece of the code. So let's get rid of that. Let's do the flowers first. And I wonder if this is the same thing. It is the same thing. Let's get rid of it. 0, 0, 0. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is find the x, which is 8 to 9. So we have 8 to 9 here. Then we need to find the y, which is 7 to 8. So we have 7 to 8 right here. So remember, y is the first, x is the last. Great. Okay. And okay, we can actually do this step by step. The important thing is you don't move. You have to stay in the same place. So just stay in the same place, and yeah, you can add things as you need to. Yeah, you can see things are getting added. Perfect. Good. Now you might be wondering, oh, why is there not a space here? Well, actually, on the graph it looks like there's space, but that space, the outside border, the outside block on all sides, is the wall. But I've only done it on one side just to make it simpler for you to understand the x and y, because having it on all four, I think that was quite confusing last time, right? So just remember that the outside block around the table, that's all going to be a wall. Okay. Now I'm in the same space. I'm on this block right here. Let's do the water. Okay. And the bridge right here. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm doing all this again live for you guys, so you can see my thought process. Hopefully you can see my thought process. Okay. So the water goes from 3 to 9. So we'll do 3 to 9 in the last column. And it goes from 3 to 4 in the y. So 3 to 4 here. And then it goes, well, it's underground. So it's -1 to -1, like so. Make sure the water is -1, otherwise it's going to spread everywhere in your enclosure. It's not going to be good. And we have 6 to 7 in the y, 6 to 7 from 3 to 4, 3 to 4, like so. Good. Now let's type in enclosure again. Enclosure inside. You can see it adds things. But we made a mistake here too. So this should be -1. This should be -1. Now, sometimes you can just repeat the code and it will correct itself. But actually, in this case, it's not going to correct itself because it's not going to rewrite things that it doesn't go over. Because we did it in 1 or 0 first, and then we did it in -1. So -1 doesn't overwrite 1 because it occupies a different level. And that's why I have to go inside and change it like so. But now if I do enclosure inside, you can see that it's the intended design that I have. Great. The next thing, let's take a look at my worksheet. So within the bridge, now we're going to do this, the first layer of the hill. So let's do this together. Okay, the first layer of the hill is going to be right here. Let's use like red, something red, just so you can like super clearly see exactly what I want you to see. Orange, good. We'll do yellow, and then we'll do what is lighter than yellow? White, maybe? I mean, it should be green, right? Because if we're using a color gradient, but let's just do white. Okay. Great. Okay, I think that's perfect. So the first layer is from 3 to 6. So we have 3 to 6 right there, and then 6 to 9. Oh, we did that already. Let's get rid of this so I can show you. Now, one important thing to know is that the middle column will change for all of these. Because as it gets higher, it needs to get higher, right? So you can see it's like 0, 0, then 1, 1, then 2, 2, then 3, 3. So for the second layer, it's going to be from 4 to 5. So from 4 to 5, from 7 to 8, good. 7 to 8, great. And then it's going to be from here, 4 to 4. which is from here, 4 to 4, and then 7 to 8 on the Y. So 7 to 8. There we go. And the last one is going to be 4 4 7 7, which is 4 4 7 7. And I'm just reading the coordinates and I'm just putting them in the right place. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you guys to do this. Now, if I've done it right, it should work, but oh, I made a mistake. What's that mistake I made? Okay. 0 to 8. Why have I done that? That is not correct at all. And this is the first corner, so this should be the Y. So this should be from 6 to 9, really. Oh, I wonder why I did that. That's very strange. Okay. So now we've got to do it over here because I completely messed it up. Okay. Enclosure inside. Okay, is that what I wanted? No, I made another mistake. It's not 6 to 8 at all. It's 6 to 9 at all. It's 7 to 8. There we go. There we go. So a careful reminder, if you make a mistake, just read the code again or read the graph again and you should be able to do it quite easily. Enclosure inside. There we go. Perfect. So you can see I made my enclosure now. And yeah, it was quite fun, quite easy. I enjoyed it. And as long as you're able to read coordinates, you should be able to do this. So hopefully that's clear. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Goodbye.